that answered. I have a list of my damaged equipment that I want for us, and I'll update it with the 36 compressors that are being destroyed. That has to be answered. Two, we need a written report on the way forward. We're asking all the discos and the GenCos, because we're going to have a public hearing and a stakeholders meeting. We want to know, going forward, how do we solve this problem without quadrupling the rates to the consumer, which is politically not feasible at this point. There has to be a package. So in other countries of the world, when you provide a service, you can have a 5% increase, 10% increase, even a 15% increase. But you cannot go to poor people and say, I'm going to increase your price by 200%, 300%. How can they afford it? It's politically suicidal, regardless of how the government agreed to such an agreement. I understand the economic logic behind it, but the political reality makes it an impossibility unless you want a riot. NCC was about to increase the data cost, and I was one of those that led the revolt to have it stopped. Because you cannot promise Nigerians anymore. There has to be another solution. So you need to think outside the box. There has to be a solution without killing Nigerians. We are half dead already. We cannot kill our people anymore. There has to be a way we can solve the problem. And with all the money we're trying to get, and I keep repeating, because my colleagues here, they can tell you stories of war, of their equipment being destroyed in their homes. There has to be a way that you do not destroy people's equipment, their TV sets, their refrigerators, UPS system, things catching fire, fires in houses because of surge. There has to be a way. You have a responsibility not to destroy a poor man's house because you're providing him with power. And you have an obligation to provide meters for everybody so your billing can be accurate. We don't want to be a very lengthy process, so I'll ask my colleagues to ask their questions and you give us your answer. But in writing, because you may not have the answer right now, tell us the path forward so that we can, and this question is going around all the discourse. And let me tell you, ask for audited account. We got a report that discourse are less than honest with remittance of funds, because you collect the money and you send out to the GenCos and TCN, and they have complained to us that not you, but the discos in general are less than honest. One of them said revenue dropped from 50% to 30%, while power was the same. So if you lose 20% of your revenue, and the value chain is in trouble because you collect the money and you take and it's a chain all the way down. And if you don't collect the money or remit what you're supposed to collect, then everybody has a problem. So these are the issues. That's why we're asking for a audited account. We want to find out what is going on. It's an allegation. It could be wrong. So I'm not passing judgment on what somebody said, but we have a responsibility to get top-class auditors to audit your books and find out exactly what the problem is. Remember, we want solutions to the problem. And you know, when I see your complaints, I'm also a private businessman. I operate under the same conditions as you. The exchange rate is affecting my business. Inflation is affecting my business. So nothing is affecting to you that is not affecting to me. Affecting me. The difference is you're a monopoly. When you're a monopoly, you can make this argument and everybody jump because nobody is providing power to Abuja. But in my company, I've not been able to raise prices for movie tickets in 10 years. As a fact of life. Because if I did, nobody would pay. You can't get away with it. I can't. We operate in the same market. That is why I raise a fundamental issue. $1 billion business is not meant for people who only have $300 million, as great as $300 million is. If you need $1 billion to be in this business, then that's what you need. Not $300 million, or $400 million, or $500 million. It is what it is, and it costs what it costs. So let me pass on to my Vice Chairman, who has some comments and some solutions to the MDs.